Ridenhour. Falei certo?
Yes.
Is that right?
We're good. We're good. Thank you.
Very welcome. I would like to welcome you guys. Such a pleasure having both of you here to talk about what's happening right now, what's happening under your administration, and I think it's two big boss, big guys here. I was another day in an American store, right, and talking about it, and everybody there was so happy with Roberto. It was like, he's Brazilian, you know that? And so it's very good. Eu quero falar para vocês que depois a gente vai estar fazendo o translation. Agora a gente vai conversar em procurar falar mais em inglês com todo, né? Com eles aqui, principalmente com o Chief, e depois vai estar tudo bonitinho, traduzido para todo mundo. Antes da gente começar, eu queria fazer duas coisas. A primeira delas é agradecer o nosso sponsor super bacana, que é a Crabtree Toyota em Danbury. Sempre aqui nos apoiando, nos ajudando. O pessoal aí, nota 10, atendendo toda a comunidade. Então fica aí o nosso muito, muito obrigada. E eu queria fazer uma breve introdução, na verdade, like a short introduction, because I was reading something, for example, Danbury today is like about the population. It's a very it's about 90,000 people, right? The population in Danbury, and about 35%. I was talking to Roberto. 35% of there are immigrants, right? So it's a very, very important information, and I saw just like about 6,000 people are Brazilians. Let's trust the ChatGPT, but I think
probably a little bit more. Probably a little bit more.
I think it's much more than that. Okay, but it's because we are we are festive people, right? And when we are in some place, it's like 3 or 4 people, you know, not just one. But yeah, right now we are living a very different time, right? I can say good. We are not having very good times, but people are very afraid. People are very scared about is very uncertain things happening, right? Especially because we have a lot of people, a lot of immigrants here, and the most of them, they are not legal yet, right? They are trying to, but they are good people, very hard workers, and we would like to understand how the police department of Danbury see this situation. So it's a conversation to try to put them like not too concerned about things.
Put them at ease.
Right? Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. To make their life a little easy with the informations. Yeah.
All right,
The microphone is yours.
Okay, thank you. Good evening. It's certainly an honor to be here, and it's actually an honor to be in front of your audience to talk a little bit about this. I think it's important for people to understand that the local police do not get involved with immigration enforcement. There's very limited circumstances under the Trust Act, which is legislation in Connecticut that would allow us to cooperate with immigration officials. I mean, and when I say very limited, I think there's only three instances in which we would turn someone over to immigration authorities. We're out there just enforcing state law, traffic laws, criminal, and city ordinances. That's what we do. We do not ask for immigration status, even if we do a motor vehicle stop or if someone is arrested for a breach of peace or larceny or anything like that. We don't ask immigration status. That's not important to us. It's actually illegal under the Trust Act for us to do that. And again, there's very limited circumstances. And when we do have to cooperate with immigration officials, it's really for the overall good of our community, the safety of our community, because we're taking some very dangerous people off the streets.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Preach.
Could you please tell us in what kind of situations they could be and
Sure. If the person has been convicted of a Class A or B felony, there would be an instance where we could turn them over to immigration authorities. If there is a warrant signed by a judicial officer, so that would mean a judge would have to sign the warrant, not just a a local supervisor for immigration. And then the third is if they are suspected of being on the terrorist watch list or a similar federal database. And these, again, I think most reasonable people would understand that these are circumstances where they'd want them turned over to protect us as a whole.
Exactly. That's the police job, right? The
Yes.
police work. Yeah. And would you like to say something about Roberto?
Well, the first, what I want to do is our community, and certainly the listeners know, I grew up undocumented here. I've made no secret about it. I got my green card in my early 20s, got my citizenship in 2017. I want to thank the chief and the collaboration he's had, not just with me as mayor, but with our community. He's always been about making sure people are safe and wanting them to know that the Danbury police officers are here to help them. And while it is a fearful time in our country, in our state, and certainly in our region, we want people to know that if they are victims of crime, if they are victims of domestic abuse, if they are victims of any crime, that they shouldn't be scared to call our police officers, that to know that they are there to help them. And he has stood with me and stood with the community on those principles. He's here to follow the laws in front of him, and Connecticut has the Trust Act that allows our police to show that comfort to the public that they're not here to act as immigration agents. It's a very small defined space where they can work there, and those areas of somebody from our community and who is out there all the time, like you and everybody who makes Budget Through the Cast run, knows that we want our community safe. These are folks that we don't want here, because we know we want to make sure our kids have somewhere to grow up that we're proud of and know that they can grow up safe. So that's what it's about. And I want to thank the chief for his collaboration and the whole department on that side. And for the public to know, we've come on this podcast before to let them know that they shouldn't have those fears. Your kids should still be going to school. You can still go to church. And if you get into a car accident, please call the police department, because the worst thing you can do is try to run from those instances, because then that's how you would come up, and then it become more problematic. So it's safe. They're here to work for you. And we've been working on ways to make our department and our city more inclusive, more equitable. And I know we're going to get into that a little bit later. So really what I have to add is just my gratitude for having this partner here. Chief Rittenhauer has been just hand in hand with us, with the city, and with our community.
Yeah, that's a very important point that you did touch, because people now, they are afraid. They are victim of some kinds of crimes, and they don't call, they don't ask for help, because they think, I can go to get some help,
Right.
and now I can be in trouble. So that's something that we can tell the population that is not a problem. You have your rights. You have to call the police, do the right thing. Doesn't matter what happened, right?
Right. Connecticut's a leader. Connecticut's a leader in the country in things like that because of the Trust Act, and then having great people in our department, folks like Chief Patrick Rittenhauer, who understand and have empathy for the situations and know people are here just to give a better life. Look, under Chief Rittenhauer, he's in charge of not just the department, but everything the department is responsible for. And one of those programs where you can see the beauty and our diversity is the police cadet program that our youth are in. Over 100 young men and women are part of that program from all parts of the world. And he is there to make sure they are safe and that they are encouraged to pursue careers in law enforcement. Many of them join our military, and we're really excited about that. So he is not just leading because, and I'm trying not to put words in your mouth, Chief, here. So, right, because it's not just what the law tells him, but it's because he also knows what's right and wrong as well. So we're lucky to have him here. We really are.
It's really not that difficult when you have a lot of fine officers that are really invested in doing the right thing. As the mayor said, our cadet program's been around for a long time. Predated me, so I'm not going to take full credit for that. And actually, the mayor at one time was a cadet. I think they were calling them explorers.
We were the explorers,
at the time, and it is a wonderful program. And recently, we have started to see some success in some of them becoming Danbury police officers. We have one that's graduating from the police academy, in a few weeks. We have another who graduated last year and completed his field training. And he's doing very, very well with our department. They're really invested in Danbury, and I think a lot of it is because of the experience that they've had. And we have a couple of new applicants that we'll be interviewing soon. So,
that's awesome.
So it's a program that's really starting to pay some dividends in terms of having some qualified Danbury officers, Danbury residents who are part of the department, but also really invested into this community.
Well, I got to thank the folks who I think set up its success. And like I said, I want to give credit because you're responsible for that department now. But like you said, Chief, right? The hard work of Chief McNally over in Berlin now, former Danbury police officer who was a big part of this program and a mentor of mine when I was in it, and Sergeant David Antodomenico, who's really made a program a success. And now we want to make sure that there's a pipeline from that program into the Danbury Police Department.
Excellent. Yeah, I have some questions here. People they sent to us some. I would like to talk about, for example, this one here. What should immigrants know about their rights during the police work, for example, especially during the traffic stops or emergency situations? What's the immigrant's rights? What we can say about
They
that?
have the same rights that everyone else has. You know, so
Yeah, right.
and the only thing we really ask people to do is to just be honest. If we pull you over and if you don't have a license, just say I'm sorry, I don't have one. If you do have the proper information, driver's license, registration, insurance, just turn it over so that it can be evaluated and we can get you out of there as quickly as possible. But your rights aren't abridged because you're an immigrant. So if you are arrested and you're interrogated, you certainly have the right to remain silent. You have the right to an attorney. You have right to representation. So all of those things, none of those go out the window because of your immigrant status.
Yeah, I have to say something em português. Pessoal, nunca minta para a polícia. A gente não tem que mentir para a polícia. A polícia está aqui para fazer o trabalho dela, obviamente, né? Mas principalmente para proteger a gente. E assim, me ajuda que eu te ajudo. Então, se você não tem uma driver's license, se você não tem um documento, você tem que falar para o policial que você não tem. Em nenhum momento, se você não tem nenhum tipo de felony, de crime grave, a polícia ela não vai entregar você para o ICE. Mas ela vai fazer, obviamente, o trabalho dela, né? Mas a principal coisa, jamais minta para um oficial da polícia. Don't lie, right? Okay. It's this question here. Under what the circumstances does your department? What's the relationship between the police department, right, in Danbury with the ICE?
Okay, I think we just answered that a little bit earlier, that we don't have any cooperative agreements with ICE. Again, there's very limited circumstances to which there would be cooperation. But by the same token, I believe in being transparent and honest. We don't interfere with their operations. They're a legal federal law enforcement agency, and they have their marching orders as well, and we don't interfere with them. But we do not cooperate with them unless under very limited circumstances, which I outlined a little bit earlier.
I think the population in Danbury is still with very concerned about that, because in the past, right? In the past, a mayor did something, right? When was that? Do you know
2011 now, maybe 2011, 2009. It was a while back. And listen, and that was a different time. Yeah. Right. And now we have a different administration. Somebody who's lived this. And what we can assure is, I think we have to not be fearful of what happened in Danbury in the past, because the city is not going to cooperate unless we have to, right? But if we're going after somebody with a serious felony, I think all of us here in this room and the listeners, todo mundo escutando, they all agree that person should be arrested, tried in court, which is their right, and then, if merited, deported, right? Because none of us want those kinds of folks being part of our society if they're not allowed to be here. But what we want is every immigrant to be treated with respect. Just because you're an immigrant doesn't mean you're a criminal. Because you got pulled over for speeding, don't speed. Follow the rules too, right? This is very simple. Follow the rules. Don't lie. But the Danbury Police Department isn't going to turn you over for ICE because of that, and that's the important thing. And like the chief said, right, they won't interfere because they can't. They also have laws they have to follow as well. And again, we're lucky to have them here. They're doing their best. And if everybody's following the rules here of our state, they're not going to have any problems. And again, because of these low things, you have a car accident, certain things like that, please feel like and know that you are safe with the Danbury police officer. But more importantly, and I'll probably say it a bunch of times again, if you are a victim of a crime, if you feel like something that you have called the police department before Trump was in office, you are still good to call the police department now. We want to protect you. We want to protect your families. We want you to know that the Danbury Police Department and the men and women who put on that uniform are here to work with you, and you should not be scared of them.
The podcast is gonna translate everything, but you are the mayor. Could you please say this in Portuguese? In a very
posso falar
fluent
em português também, né? E é como eu já falei.
Presta atenção, a gente chama todo mundo.
E como
agora.
Eu já falei várias
Prefeito
vezes.
Vai falar.
Desculpa, falar por cima de você.
Sem problema.
É que eu começo a falar, não paro. Isso aí é político, né? Já sabe. Político carioca aqui é.
Tranquiliza o coração da comunidade, prefeito.
Não, é como eu falei antes. A comunidade tem que se sentir tranquila, porque a gente tem medo do governo federal, a gente tem medo da ICE, né? Mas do departamento de polícia de Denver não tem nada de ter medo. A gente não trabalha como uma cidade com ICE, nem pode, porque tem lei aqui estatual que não deixa eles fazer isso. Até se eles queriam, eles não podem e não vão.
Migração é lei federal. Sim.
Isso aí. Mas o nosso estado não deixa o nosso policial trabalhar como agente do ICE, e eles não vão. Se você ter acidente de carro, chama a polícia, que eles não vão ligar para a ICE. Se você é parado porque você está andando com velocidade, primeira coisa, não anda com essa velocidade, né? Não vai ter que ter essa preocupação. Mas o policial não vai reportar você para o ICE se você não está procurado por algum crime grave, algum crime sério. E a coisa que é mais importante, eu vou falar várias vezes e sempre falo quando eu estou aqui. Se você é vítima de um crime, que é a violência doméstica, ou alguém entrou na tua casa, qualquer coisa, assalto, você tem que saber que você deve ligar para a polícia, e pode ligar para a polícia, ficar sossegado que eles não vão trabalhar com a imigração, que você como imigrante ainda tem os mesmos direitos do que um cidadão. Só porque você é imigrante não quer dizer que você não tem os direitos. Esse país oferece você o seu direito. Sim, estão num momento que dá medo, mas você tem que lembrar que a gente está em Canérica, que estamos em Denver, em um lugar que você não tem que ter esse medo.
Você está seguro, né?
Está seguro.
Obviamente que, como o Chief bem falou, são os mesmos direitos, não é porque você é imigrante que você tem menos direito. Mas também você tem deveres. Nós temos deveres, né? Nosso dever de cumprir a lei, de fazer tudo certinho, e nós temos seus direitos, obviamente. Eu tenho uma pergunta aqui. Ok, como é que tá nosso tempo? Que o Alex tá lá de fora me cobrando um negócio aqui.
I'm jealous. I feel like I need to go back to school.
I got it, Chief. We can work on this, Chief.
Yeah. This question is for you, Chief. Can you clarify what happens and what does not happen when an undocumented immigrant calls the police for help?
Okay. What happens is we respond and we give them the assistance that they need. And what does not happen is we do not ask for their immigration status, and that's of no consequence to us. So we respond to the call just like we would anything else. We assess what has taken place, and we decide what is the appropriate legal action to take.
Excellent. I think we have to repeat this many times here in this live, right?
Yeah.
Right, because so everybody is a bunch of questions here. Let me see. Okay, how does your department ensure that victims of crimes feel safe reporting independent of the immigration status? That means okay. Is that right? Is that okay? Right? Is no deal? Like calling the police is basically the same thing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
There should be no inherent concerns with calling the police. If you're a victim of a crime, or if you witness a crime, you should call the police, and do so in a timely manner, because it's important for us to get there as quickly as possible. It's important for us to gather the proper evidence and to identify witnesses so that the bad people can be brought to justice. So there should just no delay. There should be no concerns, and I think the way we get that message out is through forums such as this, just to continuing, to ask those questions, to have us here, to have us at other events and other meetings, and we'll put our money where our mouth is. That we're not we're not asking for immigration status. We're not doing anything that people should be concerned about or feel that they cannot cooperate with their local police department.
Is one question here: if about crimes, has crimes increased or decreased, especially under your administration?
Well, I think our overall crime has decreased, and it continues to decrease. And I think tremendous support from the mayor and the city council with regard to growing our department, recognizing that our city is growing. We're trying to get out in front of that by hiring more officers, putting them in key positions within the department to be able to go out there and to identify crime, to mainly work with the community, because the community is our eyes and ears. And if we don't have a relationship with our community as a whole, we're not going to solve crime. And I think overall we do a pretty good job of it. And Danbury is a wonderful community, a wonderful mix in our community. But I think overall, there's always going to be outliers, but overall I think we do well with all facets of our community, which is why we are one of the safest cities of our size in the nation.
And I don't know if the community knows about that, but we were talking before I started the live. Today in Danbury, there is 158 police officers, right?
We have 158 police officers right now. Until June 30th, I think we're budgeted for 175. So we're still hiring, and then
but July 1st,
July 1st, it's going to go to 180.
Yeah, and when I first started as mayor, we were budgeted for 165.
165.
So in my short time as mayor, we've gone up to 180, and I think it's important to say the chief has done a phenomenal job, and I thank him and the interest of the people who want to apply to be Danbury police officers. But there were times, not into our distant future, not into our distant past, where we were hovering around 140. Right? And the population wasn't that different. We had 140, and now we have close to 160 police officers with the ability to hire 15 more. And we're in a good place. And it's the hard work and collaboration between our administration, the chief. I'm so lucky to have this chief here in Danbury. I sing his praises across our state, and folks know that. I actually just saw his old boss, the former mayor, John, over in Stratford, who tells me every time how lucky I am to have you as a chief here. And he's right. And when it comes to crime, the crime is down in Danbury. Last year we were down, I want to say 25+%. This year the trends look similar. I'm not sure if that's going to go down as much, but it's not rising. And it's due to the credit of the men and women who are putting on that uniform and the community policing, getting out there and talking to folks, letting people know. And calls for service are up, though, right? So people are feeling safer calling our police department, even with everything going on. So, again, e falar em português um bocado, é a confiança que a nossa comunidade tem agora, ter um prefeito que conhece a história, que está confortável em chamar a nossa polícia, o trabalho que os nossos policiais estão fazendo, e que o crime está abaixando em Denver, vai continuar a baixar, e os números de polícia que a gente está trazendo para a cidade continua a aumentar, porque foi uma promessa que eu fiz para o nosso público, e eu vou sempre ficar nesse caminho.
Sim.
I just can't tell you how important it is, though, the community aspect of it. That we have officers. Obviously, we try to grow our own through our entry-level process, but we've also had a lot of officers who've transferred here from other departments, and one of the things that they pick up on immediately is how well they're treated by the community, and that's what makes them want to stay here. That's what makes them invested here. So I'll take all the credit that I can get. I appreciate that, but it's a joint effort between the police and the community. And they really appreciate it when they're shown the respect for the job that they have to do out there, because it is a dangerous job. I don't care what community you work in; it's a dangerous job.
It's a dangerous,
and your life is on the line every day. But when you have someone saying, "Hey, thank you for what you do," when you have someone bringing their child up to you and saying, "Say hi to the nice police officer," that means a lot to them. It means way more than anyone can imagine.
Yeah. And is there any Brazilian officer on your team?
Yes, we do have some.
Oh, yeah?
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
cool.
yes.
And I have a question here from somebody that she wants to become a police officer in
Then,
Denver.
let's apply.
It's
Hurry
her
up.
passion.
Shit test,
And
shit test.
Yeah, and the question is how to apply, what the rules, and
Yeah.
how to start there. It's just for citizens, can be for
Well, we
green
have
card
a-
holders, or
We
how
have an
that works.
amazing update on part of that. First, the process, Chief. If you give a quick synopsis of how they apply and what they need to do, and then we'll go into the next part.
How do you apply? Well, we are on a platform called Police App, policeapp.com. So when we're in a recruitment period, we just got a new eligibility list. So I'd say, look, maybe 3-4 months down the road, I think we're going to go through the list we have pretty quickly, and we'll be in another recruitment period. All of the requirements are there. So you would apply through Police App. There's a online test that you take through the Connecticut Police Chiefs Association. We do a 6-month look back, so if you have a passing score on that test within the last 6 months, that gets uploaded into your profile, and then you have to have a chip card, and that's your physical agility. You have to score within the 40th percentile of what the requirements are for that, and that's a 1.5 mile run. That's a certain amount of push-ups that you have to do within a minute, and it's all age-based. So if you're in a 10-year window, like ages 20 to 29, you may have to do, 20 sit-ups in a minute. Whereas if you're age 40 to 49, you may only have to do 15.
So there's a chance for me, you're saying.
Also, it's a
Probably
chance for
not.
us, I think.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing any push-up right now.
I don't know about
So-
the physical test, but for me.
So that's the requirements there. So as long as you score in the 40th percentile on that, you upload that score into your profile, and so and then once your application is accepted by the Civil Service Commission, it's placed on an eligibility list, and that's based on your written score. And then after the eligibility list is established, we start the process of interviewing. I believe it's important, as much as we want to evaluate the candidates, I think the candidates want to evaluate us too. So my deputy chief and I are really the first two people that they meet from the department. We conduct the interviews. It gives them an opportunity to really see what they're looking at and what they're getting into, and it gives them an opportunity to ask us questions. And then once we interview, if it's a good candidate, we ask Human Resources to push them forward for a conditional offer. The mayor signs off on the conditional offers, and then we're off to the races. We will conduct background investigations. You have to go through a polygraph exam. You have to take a psychological exam. You have to take a drug screen, medical, and then if you make it through the finish
Very
line,
important, right?
Yeah. If you make it to the finish line, we send you off to the police academy, which
Oh, okay.
which is right now about 6 to 7 months of training. And then once you graduate from the academy, you do another minimum of 10 weeks of field training with a veteran officer. So you learn the city, you learn our systems, and then if you pass all of that, you're on your own.
Oh, good. I know we have some very good news, right?
Yeah, well,
About that.
I think it's good
But,
news.
before that, would you
We're
like
hopeful.
would you like to ask you how many? Okay, today is 158, right?
Correct.
How many of this number are women and men? Do you have this?
Right now,
information?
we are at about 11% female and 89% male. So,
Viu, meninas?
so we certainly would like to
Mas-
get that number up. But I can tell you, just back in 2022, we were 93% male and 7% female. So we're trending in the right direction. We were about 11% Hispanic, Latino.
Okay.
And today we are, that's back in 2022. Today we are at 20%. So again, we're moving in the right direction. African Americans, 2022, we were about 3%. We're up to 7% now. So we're definitely trending in the right direction to make our department much more reflective of our diverse community, and we're very proud of that.
I have a question, a personal question. So, to become a police officer, people they need to speak more than one language.
You
Or
can.
this is
There is a benefit if you can speak more than one language. We give you some extra time off, or you can get paid for it. So there's definitely a benefit. I mean, certainly Spanish and Portuguese in this community are huge, but we also recognize, other languages that might be necessary to assist. But we also have, when we don't have an officer that speaks a specific language that's needed, or if no one is available to do so, we're able to use what we call the language line, which is a telephone service, a professional service for translation. And we are exploring the opportunity for our body cameras with the company that does our body cameras, that they have a translation service that I did check with another department our size, that they seem to like it very much. I did speak with the chief recently, so we're going to be exploring that opportunity as well.
So when somebody call from home, for example, some situation is happening there, they call the police to asking for help. It's always somebody to speak their language, Spanish or Portuguese, or
correct. There's our dispatcher would recognize, that there's a language barrier. Would try to ascertain what language they're speaking, and then try to get as much information as possible. But they would also relay that to the officer, and and depending on what the language is, I mean, we often have officers on the road that speak Spanish, so that's usually not an issue. We have some of our officers that do speak Portuguese, so it's not. It's not as readily available as Spanish, but it is out there, and then it all depends on the nature of the call. Sometimes you can get through the call without really needing major translations.
Yeah.
If it's a motor vehicle stop or something like that, usually our officers can work their way through it. But if it's something more serious, where you're going to have to collect evidence, where you may have to make an arrest, it's better to have the proper translation especially for court documents.
Okay. For the next, would you like to talk about the future projects for Danbury? I think
we have a couple things in the horizon, right, Chief? That we're really proud of, the academy and then the ordinance.
Yes.
Please tell us.
Yeah, I will. So one thing that we're really excited about, it's you talked about your veteran officers and FTOs. When you hire some folks, you also have to wait to have spots in an academy, and that can limit you on how fast you can hire, because we're relying on other cities or another academy to get these folks in there. So the chief has worked really hard on this one, and again with the team of folks. So kudos to the whole team. Thank you everybody within the Danbury Police Department who's working on this. We are going to build our own police academy. We're on track for it. Obviously we have to get some approvals from the state, but everything is moving forward, and I feel confident, Chief, that this is going to happen, and Danbury will be the home of its own police academy, so we can get our recruits in, not be relying on others. Really excited about that. It's been a long time coming. The other side of it, and would you like me to speak Portuguese now?
Yeah,
or you want me to stay in English? Oh, you guys português ou inglês agora? A outra coisa que a gente estamos... olha, eu tenho orgulho para poder... mudar essa lei aqui, que a gente está tentando mudar, e a minha amizade que eu tenho com o chefe Patrick Rittenhauer, que uma ideia que ele trouxe para mim, que no estado de... Agora, para você ser policial na cidade de Danbury, você tem que ser cidadão. E se você não é um cidadão americano, você não pode aplicar ou ser policial aqui em Danbury. No nosso estado, em 2020, o corpo que governa as regras de polícia mudou a regra que você não tem que ser cidadão, só tem que ter green card, um permanent resident holder, para ser polícia. Mas antes da minha administração, eu entrar como prefeito, os outros não queriam fazer isso, não fizeram, né? E em 2025, recentemente, esse corpo também governa as regras de policial, mudou outra coisa que não só pessoa que tem green card, permanent resident, mas se você é o que a gente chama de dreamer, né, que é recipiente do DACA, DACA, programa bom, que tem um monte de pessoa que pode trabalhar tão legalmente aqui. A gente, Na última reunião que a gente teve na prefeitura, com os vereadores, eu escrevi uma carta falando que eu gostaria de mudar a nossa lei para poder trazer esses dois grupos para dar oportunidade para aplicar para ser policial aqui em Denver, que agora não pode. Agora está no processo do governo, um processo que eu acho que vai andar rápido. Eu gostaria de estar isso completo em maio, mas junho eu acho que está mais em contra, e eu acho que a próxima vez que abrir o teste para pessoal poder aplicar para ser policial em Denver, que a nossa comunidade que estão aqui legalmente com green card, mas não são cidadão, ou os que são recipientes, desculpa, do Dream Act, do DACA, vão poder aplicar para ser policial aqui em Denver. Então, se você gosta dessa ideia, por favor, manda e-mail, liga para os seus vereadores aqui, porque agora tá com eles. Eu falei, eu quero mudar isso, agora é neles para mudar essa lei. Eu acho que a gente vai ter esses votos, que a maioria da prefeitura, dos vereadores estão comigo nisso, né? O meu partido, certamente, a maioria deles estão, os democratas, mas fala, porque isso aqui é uma boa ideia. No final do dia, se a gente conhece tanta pessoa que tem green card, que não é cidadão, que eles levantam aquela mão direita, põe a mão esquerda na Bíblia e faz o outro para os Estados Unidos e entra para a tropa, entra no militar. Estão fazendo sacrifício da vida para servir o nosso país.
Sim.
E por que não ser polícia também? Foi o que eu falei. E os Dreamers, as crianças que não são crianças, não, são adultos, né? Mas foram
adultos,
quando
né?
receberam,
Mas vieram,
que são os nossos trabalhando na ambulância, podem ser bombeiro, são doutores, são advogados, estão salvando vida. Por que não também? Estão aqui legalmente. E a coisa direita para fazer, e é o que a gente está fazendo. Tem o apoio do chefe da polícia. Back to English, we are really happy they are able to introduce this ordinance. I hope the City Council approves it. We ask for everybody's support. It's the right thing to do. It's going to make our police department stronger, in my opinion. It's going to make us more representative of this great community, and we should be an example for the rest of the country. And other people are doing it, and we absolutely shouldn't be the last ones to do it. And it's our turn, and I'm so happy that as mayor and with Chief Rittenhauer, we're able to introduce this ordinance change to the City Council, and I look forward to its passing.
Yeah, very good. And I'll tell in Portuguese one thing, because você sabe, aqui, gente, funciona diferente. Aqui você pode ligar, conforme o Roberto falou, e cobrar do vereador da sua cidade.
Com certeza.
O que você espera. Não é que nem no Brasil, né? Parece que é piada, mas não é piada, onde a pessoa vende o voto dela por 2 sacos de cimento e nunca mais ela acha que ela pode cobrar nada. Na próxima eleição, vou pedir 4 sacos de cimento. Então, assim, aqui você elegeu, você liga, você pega o telefone e liga e cobra, porque isso é uma coisa que vai ser super positiva para a comunidade brasileira.
Melhor
né?
do que ligar para mim, em inglês é CYA, né? Cover Year. Cool. Manda e-mail, porque depois ninguém pode falar que você nunca mandou.
Manda
Se
e-mail,
você
né?
for ligar, ninguém me ligou. Mas mandar e-mail tá escrito e é um recorde para sempre.
E onde é que a gente consegue? Onde
No
é que essa
website da
comunidade
cidade,
consegue o e-mail desse pessoal?
no website da prefeitura. Vou falar para a Escada da Tecnologia, botar aqui embaixo, estou falando aqui, quando botar o vídeo, põe aqui, por favor, põe uma máscara aí e põe o site da cidade ali, que vai estar os e-mails dos vereadores.
E documenta a sua solicitação, o seu
Com
pedido.
certeza,
A gente tem que exercer o nosso papel de cidadão. Não importa se você ainda não é cidadão, mas você é um cidadão que habita aqui, que mora aqui, e você pode, né, cobrar esse tipo de coisa.
E que oportunidade para tantas pessoas, né, na nossa comunidade, para agora poder aplicar para ser polícia. E aplicar, né? Porque tem que passar teste, tem um monte de coisa que tem que acontecer. Então, as pessoas que são contra, que costumam ser as pessoas do outro lado do partido, né, que seguem o Trump, que são contra essa ideia, para mim é um pouquinho de racismo, muito racismo, que não gostam, mas vamos fazer isso aqui. Essas pessoas estão sacrificando a vida na nossa tropa, na Marinha, né, no Exército, no Marines, no Air Force. Por favor, também pode ser polícia aqui.
Yeah, that's a very good news. I'm so glad to hear that, and congratulations for both of you, because
And you understood everything I just said, right, Chief? Right? That's why we need that accent.
Did you understand everything in Portuguese there, right? I'm sure.
No, I just think it's just really important to understand that, you know, we're listening to people within our community. We have, every time we do a recruitment period, we have information sessions at the police department, and really this came about where we had a few residents, that said, hey, can I apply? I have a green card, but can I apply? And under the current ordinance, no, you can't, because you're not a U.S. citizen. So really, while I like to be innovative and to be, forward thinking, someone thought about this several years ago.
Yeah.
In the state of Connecticut, because
Wow.
they're the ones who petitioned the Police Officer Standards and Training Council, which is the governing body for all police officers in the state of Connecticut, and said, "Hey, I have an applicant. They have a green card. They're not citizens. Can they be police officers?" So it was the Post Council that decided to, back in 2020, to allow permanent residents to apply to be police officers. They meet the criteria. There are no restrictions on them carrying firearms. If you have a green card today, you could apply for a gun permit in the state of Connecticut, and you would get one.
Yeah.
And then in 2025, they expanded it to include DACA recipients. So we're not reinventing the wheel here. We're just saying that these are the standards that are allowed, and we just want to open up the opportunity for people who are interested and who are here or have legal status to be police officers.
Yeah.
And I don't think that that's unreasonable. None of the other standards are changing. They still have to get through a very difficult background investigation process. They still have to get through a polygraph. They still have to get through a psychological. None of those other standards are changing.
Exactly.
It's just that if you're eligible by state standards, why shouldn't you be eligible by Danbury
Exactly.
standards?
And it's not just important. Actually, it's so beautiful, right? Because this country is a country of immigrants, right? From everywhere. So I think it could be very, very nice. And this is like, which stage is there now? Is going to be when?
Well, I think hopefully, so I introduced it to the council. The council sent it to an ad hoc so they could have further discussion on it. They'll bring in the chief and
that's
our
Tuesday.
attorneys. That's Tuesday. I'd hope that we can get it on the agenda for the next meeting, but we'd have to send it actually to a public hearing. I think realistically, no later than July. The council in July would probably be the earliest. If we're lucky, June. But right, the timing doesn't matter because we have a list right now of eligible employees, and it would open up. I think if we did July, we'd still be good for the next list and give folks opportunity for chip tests and things like that. So it's moving. It's moving fast. I hope it's going to pass. I think it's going to pass. It's
Let's
the right.
cross the
It's
fingers.
it's the right thing to do. We're talking about this country. This is also the land of opportunity, right?
Yes.
And we can look through our history if we want to get not even philosophical, just accurate about it.
Right.
There's always been times in this country where we've shunned certain people out from being being in certain professions, from the African American community to at one point Italians, right, Irish. Everybody's gone through this, and now these this immigrant community that are here and legally allowed to work, right?
Yes.
They are legal. These are folks that are not allowed
the
to work.
important
They are legally allowed to work. They raise their right hand and join our military almost every day and are willing to sacrifice their life for this country.
Yeah.
They should be given the right to apply for an opportunity to be a Danbury police officer if they'd like to. And that's where I stand. It's the right thing to do. I am 100% behind this, obviously, and I can't wait to be the mayor that brings it into Danbury. And I thank the chief for his support on this. It's the right thing to do.
I mean, listen, I fully understand that there's always going to be philosophical differences to that, and I respect
Yes.
that. I 100% respect that. But there's nothing legally that prevents this. And so, and like the mayor said, we just want to open up opportunities, for people who want to serve. I mean, it's great you serve in the military, serve this country as a whole, but it's also great if you want to serve your local community, and we just want to make sure that people have that opportunity.
Yeah. People make a line. Let's do the applications.
Yeah. Let's go. We want more Portuguese-speaking police officers.
Yeah,
And even better if you speak 3 languages.
Yeah,
Hey,
right.
does the stipend add in 1 language, or does the change with multiple languages?
No, just
No, just one? They had their shot, that union. No, but listen, é sério, você tem oportunidade. Se fala mais que um idioma, você tem benefícios nesse departamento.
Oh, yeah.
Você recebe tempo mais de férias ou você é pago. Então a gente vê que é um benefício e trata isso como um benefício para a comunidade. So it's great. We're really excited.
And this opens up an opportunity for people who come from all parts of the world. you know, I think that gets lost too. That there's people from all parts of the world who come here, who follow a process, and you know, and have their green cards. You know, it's not just Brazil. It's not just Colombia or Ecuador or Lebanon. It's it's France, it's Bosnia, it's other places that people come to that want to have an opportunity to serve as police officers.
You can have a permanent resident from Canada, Chief.
Exactly.
Right? You can. It's just
and why shouldn't they be given that opportunity?
Yeah, very good, very good. So, would you like to say anything else? We are so glad to having you guys here. Very, very productive time about everything. We love you, you know that.
I love you
Our
guys.
favorite mayor, you know. And now we love you also, okay?
Chief, let's go.
I'm flattered.
He's part of the family. Chief. We're gonna teach him some Portuguese words. Listen, I have nothing else to say, and I'm sorry. I know I have to run out of here soon. I want to thank the Chief for coming here, and I'm glad he got to meet you guys. And you're a great venue for us to get information out to the Brazilian community, not just in Danbury, but across the state, right? Because you don't have to be from Danbury to apply for a police officer job in Danbury. So if you're a permanent resident in another town or city, you can apply to work here too. We want the best of the best applying to be here, so it's an opportunity for everybody. So thank you for what you guys do at Budget Tudo Cast, of allowing us to come in here and talking to our community, let them know they should be safe, they should feel safe here with our local police department, that if they want to report a crime, if they're a victim of a crime, that they can work with them, that our office and the mayor's office is always there to help them, and it's great. And if I may, before we leave, I'd love to put the Chief on the spot. Chief, can I put you on the spot? Can I put you on the spot, sir? There's a camera right there. The right camera is your camera. Chief, I want to know, who do you think is going to win the World Cup this year?
Brazil.
There you go. I'm not going to do that to him. But, and then, Chief, just because I know it's going to make everybody else mad, can you repeat one thing? And I promise you're not going to say anything bad. I just want you to say Vasco. No, that's a soccer team thing.
Okay.
No, I will do that to you because that's club team. But country team, that's it. I thank you guys. I had a great time.
Yeah, I would like to thank you, to say thank you so much to come here. This podcast, Pode Tudo Cast, is a house for the community in Danbury. It's your house. You know that, and it's your house. Be free, you know, anytime that you want to be here to talk about something, about a news, about what happened, about, you know, because we want to work together. We came to this country because we are very hard workers. This guy has a beautiful history, right, about his life, and nobody's here like playing, right? And we want to be together. We understand your work, and we are here to do our best, right? Always. Okay. And is anything that you'd like to tell for immigrants, especially for Brazilians?
Well, first of all, I just want to thank you for having me. This is wonderful, and just to our community, to our Brazilian community, you are a vibrant part of Danbury. I've gotten to be friends with several members of the Brazilian community during my time here. Spent time at the homes. Great food, great conversation, and just tremendous support, and that's much appreciated. But just don't be afraid of the Danbury Police, and if there's anything that we can help with to get messaging out into the community, to address any concerns with the community, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. And if you have concerns or complaints against our officers, please don't hesitate to reach out. We have that the ability to do follow up. Our body cameras now really allow us to really do a more thorough investigation of any concerns that you have about an officer's demeanor, an officer's attitude, and there's times where we may have to take action, and then there's other times where it's just more of a minor corrective thing. But we want people to feel safe. We want people to work with us. We want to continue to work with our community. We want to continue to do the outreach that we do, and be partners together, because that's what makes Danbury great.
Excellent. People, they really like you. Is a bunch of questions for you here, but will be for the next meeting. Okay?
We'll come back. If the Chief has some time, we'll come back.
All right.
Ok, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Gente, muito obrigada. A conversa foi maravilhosa. A gente, como eu falei, a gente vai estar traduzindo, colocando no Instagram, nas outras redes sociais também. Se vocês tiverem alguma pergunta, Perguntem, não podemos garantir que vai ter resposta, ok? Porque é a primeira vez do Tiff aqui. Mas, enfim, acho que foi um papo, uma conversa super produtiva. Tá todo mundo na mesma page, right? Na mesma vibe. E, novamente, agradecer a todo mundo. Agradecer a Toyota, Crabtree Toyota, no nosso sponsor aí. E estamos à disposição. E o podcast é sempre isso. Informação correta, com seriedade, voltada para a comunidade de imigrantes, especialmente para a comunidade brasileira. Obrigada. Have a great night, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you.